How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about AMC. I've been getting some questions about it saying, Dre, where do you see the price action for this coming week? We've been seeing a pullback in the market as a whole, so we're going to be talking about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for AMC. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $14.30, being down 6.66%. On the low, it tested $14.27, and then on the high, testing $15.40. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 29.203 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 34.121 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and part of the reasons why we've seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 35.68. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So the first thing to bring to your attention, AMC is in a bear market, trading below all of our major moving averages, and we do have some exposure, or I should say we have further exposure in regards to where it could go to the downside. We could see as far as to where the low was tested, it was at 14.27 on the Friday. So if we go all the way back here, which is on January the 28th, we ended up seeing a low right here around 13.48. So we could easily revisit these levels for the coming week. So I want you to understand that. And if we break through this level, then we can come all the way back down here to around $12.25. And if you are bullish on AMC, this could be providing an opportunity. But like I always say, you don't need to catch yourself in the middle of a falling knife. Wait for the price to actually discover itself so you can get it at an even better deal. But aside from that, if we're looking for a turnaround from AMC, it needs to get back above the 21-day EMA. It's set at around $16.89, but let's just call it $17. And upon reclaiming $17, then we want to see that move to where it can get above the 50-day and then essentially making that move to $20 and then seeing where we go from there. I am personally not seeing it for the coming week. I see some more selling pressure, so I just want to make sure that is something that you guys are prepared for. Now, let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for AMC. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we see two closed positions for the third and as well as for the second. But one thing I want to bring to your attention though, as far as what's been going down recently, we can see institutions have been loading up on AMC. So this is great for my long-term investors. Now, let's take a look at the short interest. The off-exchange short volume ratio is at 61.98%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 7.72 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 150,000, updated 1 minute ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.90%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 10th, it was at 60.41, and then for the close of the 11th being at 61.98. So what this shows us right away, AMC does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for AMC. So we see on the inflow, it's at 59.21, and then on the outflow, it's at 66.19. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 30.27, and then on the small, it was 28.94. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 37.91, and then on the small, it was 28.28. Keep in mind, these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see from March the 11th for the Friday that just passed, we had 0. On the 10th, we had a negative outflow of 2.57 million, but we did have inflows on March the 8th and as well as the 7th, where we had 2.07 million and as well as 5.35 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling, but it was fairly close. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we have 0 on both sides. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 5.65%. So this is up there, but it's not surprising considering all the volatility we have inside of the markets and as well as the pullback that we've been seeing. So this is why if you are a long-term investor inside of this play, you have to have high convictions to be holding on to your position, because if not, as you saw from the order flow, we're going to continue to see some selling pressure. So let's move on to the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for AMC in regards to the price action, if we continue to see weakness inside of these markets, here are the 2 levels I want you to look out for. We have $13.36 and then we also have $12.74. These are former support areas. So if AMC starts visiting these levels and if it breaks through 1274, that's where we could see even more downside. So that's why I want you to be aware and know this, because there is a possibility it may not see 1274 and it might be able to recover. But be aware of that, add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence. As far as for looking for a bullish turnaround now, you're going to want to see AMC at least get back to $16 and then make that move to $20. But I am not seeing this in the short term with the volatility we have in these markets. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential and institutions have been loading up on shares. So this is why I'm saying with the market the way it is, this pullback should not be surprising whatsoever, and AMC will turn around when the market picks back up. So this could be an opportunity for anyone who's a long-term investor, or maybe you might be a swing trader and you might be looking to ride that momentum. But always have a game plan. Know what your entry is going to be, know what your exit is going to be. I know there's many apes out there just like myself, and if it does decide to pull back even more, I will be adding a little bit to my position. I don't load heavy when it comes to AMC. There's other plays that I like trading off of. So let's see how this stock performs for this coming week. It's definitely going to be interesting, and keep an eye on those key levels that I spoke about to the downside. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.